Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me and you can hear me good. Still getting over being a little sick, so I'm a little bit. Jim came back. Who came back? Morales not far. Bro, you know what's crazy? Morales is in The Mist. I told my daughter about The Mist. I was like, yo, we gotta watch it because they came out with a new Steelbook in 4K. And I copped that shit, because why not? And I was like, yo, we gotta watch it, blah, blah, blah. So I put it in. She falls asleep first night, 10 minutes in. So then second night, I put it in, and I knew about Dale. I knew about Andrea. I knew that Frank Darabont wanted Thomas Jane to play Rick at first. And I knew about Carol. Carol is in The Mist in 2 cameo scenes, or 2 parts of it. Anyway, but I didn't know Morales was in it, and I forgot. I knew, but I forgot. Excuse me. Deacon was in it. Days Gone, Deacon. Mist has like a bunch of different people. If you ever watched Snowfall, Unc is in it too. He's the military police, or at least that's gotta be Unc, but he looks younger, a lot younger, but I swear that shit sounds just like Unc. So anyhow, The Mist is crazy. Anyhow, then my daughter, she gave up about half hour in, or an hour and a half in. I'm like, there's only 20 minutes left. You got to watch it. So she bounced. And then I was like, you're crazy for leaving. The ending is like a gut punch. So she looked up the ending, and then she was like, oh my God, she's like, that's crazy. So yeah, she's a fucking no, I'm just kidding. So she left. She bounced. All right, so I'm going to pull up the chat so you guys can chat, and I can see the chat, and the chat is here, and it's live chat, not top chat, so chat is chat. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel me, chat? Anyway, someone said The Mist is fire. It is. It really, really is. One thing I want to get off of my chest right from the rip, if you're new here, I'm going to talk about the episode, Daryl Dixon episode 5, for about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to put the poll in the chat so you guys can go and vote on it. And then after I'm done talking, we're going to go to the comments and see what you guys have to say about the episode. And then we'll pull the poll and see what the poll has to say. And then we'll round out the podcast. Anyhow, so did you likey episode 5? Yes or no? We're keeping it simple. Did you like episode 5? Yes or no? We've kept it simple this whole time. One thing I will mention right from the jump that I did like with this episode was a couple selective scenes that were different. Like, I liked seeing that side of Daryl come out where he got really angry. And that was, we haven't seen that bit of Daryl since early, season 2, season 3, And that's like to the core of him, even though, Daryl as more of the good guy character, he comes from that abusive redneck background. He's going to have that, especially at his age when he entered the post-apocalypse. He's going to have these outbursts. Now, at who they're directed at and at what time they happen is going to determine it. He's not going to go to Carol and be like, make me lunch, bitch, and then flip out. It's going to be based on his character, the core of his character. But he's still going to have that type of, because just because he turns into good guy Daryl, that doesn't now psychologically repair, his character and the traits of his character. Anyhow, so I like that he flipped out. Oh, I know there was one thing else I liked besides, I'll get right to the Walker variant, although I'm not a big fan of the variants. I think it's a cheap way for AMC or the creative minds to go, we are not very creative. Strong zombies, because then you could just get a good director to come in and do a cool scene like what we had today, where the guy gets thrown to the ground and the zombie just rips him apart with his bare hands. That one little sliver of scene, I fucking loved it. I love that shit. Does that mean I want strong zombies all the time? No. I mean, they're in The Walking Dead now, so utilize them. And I think we could get some really great scenes when you utilize them. But that one solo scene, I loved it. I do appreciate and like the structure. I think it felt more of, okay, this is the end of the season. Let's actually activate our creativity and do something. Like they showcase the strong walker, and then in the flashback, and then in current day, you have Daryl fighting a walker. Now, I know there was one other thing where I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Individually, I might get to it, but the cons are still just outweighing this bitch. I mean, the cons are going wild. Someone let them loose, like Daryl let loose the walkers on the boat. Like someone let the cons loose like a motherfucker. Like Daryl gets to France because he was in a fight. This whole time I'm thinking like, what's the clever way they're gonna have him get to France? And was he looking for Rick and he found some signs of Rick? What cool, creative, interesting way are they gonna write it? And it's going to be like this, whoa, shit moment. Nope, he got in a fight. Someone killed a young kid for fresh meat, which, duh. As soon as they brought that up, like, oh, we're buying, zombies. The fresher, the better. We're going to pay top dollar. As soon as they said that, I thought, I'm not having a partner. Are you shitting me? The moment I turn my back, you're going to put a bullet in the back of my head. Now, the guys should have mentioned, like, we're going to log everyone here. If somebody comes back dead, like, I don't care if it was an accident, you're fucked. But they don't have that rule, which is a very stupid rule because you need these people protected to get your product. If all the people getting your product are just killing each other for fresh, product to sell back to you, that is dumb. I mean, that's going to cripple your business. So I don't buy that, how it's not built into the rules. They have like, be decent, but it doesn't say don't kill each other, you fucking idiots. No, that's not in the rules. Anyhow, so needless to say, Daryl gets into a fight. He gets into a fight. That's why he's in France. Everyone, Daryl got into a fight. That's why he's in France. Holy shit, can you come up with something that's less interesting and less cool, less connected to the main world of The Walking Dead? If you tried, I mean, you would have to actively try to do worse than that. That is like, fuck me. Wow. Just wow. Daryl punched a guy in the face and now he's in France, Holy shit. And then you have some of the other really dumb shit like the kid. And Hollywood does this a lot where you get the kid characters and they do dumb shit. Now, the kid cuts the boat and Daryl snaps and you get what the kid's saying. He's like, oh, my mother died. She left me. The nuns got slaughtered. They left me. My aunt, she's out hoeing it. She's a part of the gaggers. So now I'm all alone. Everyone in my life has left me. Everyone except for fucking you. Wait, hold on. That sounds very familiar. Hold on. You mean to tell me Daryl Dixon and The Walking Dead has ripped off The Last of Us several times now, probably over a dozen times now, and then they continued with this scene? Wait, is the volume up? I just want to make sure this volume is up.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me. Everybody.
What the fuck are we doing?
Fucking except for you.
I think I'm blocking the screen, but that's fine because I'm trying to avoid copyright anyway. But yeah. So this exact scene takes place in the show. They're already ripping the foundation off and saying, I love Greg Nicotero. This is the one time in the history of being a fan of Greg Nicotero since I was a child. I'm going to say like, bullshit. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe Greg Nicotero didn't know. But the powers to be, they fucking knew they were ripping off The Walking Dead. They knew it in their blood, in their core. They played the game and they showed up on set. They didn't want to tell anyone, but they were like, deep down inside in the back of their mind, they're like, I hope people don't really know or find out that I just totally ripped off The Last of Us, because you did. There's no way around it. There's no way you have like 14 moments connected to the base plot of your story, the escort mission. There's no way you don't realize you're ripping off The Walking Dead, especially when half of them are word for word copy repastes. And some of it is scenes that don't have words, but the scene is identical. Literally, you can lay them on top of each other. If it was artwork, you could lay them on top of each other and it would be there's no way to refute it. There's no way, unless it's the biggest coincidences in the history of coincidences in the world of cinema. What the absolute fuck. Now, we just saw the Last of Us scene. Hopefully I can find it quick. I just want to play it just to showcase how incredibly similar that is. It should be easy to find, but I want to continue with some of the shit. Like, so the kid didn't want to be alone, so he cut the boat.
How are we supposed to get there now?
This part was awesome. I love that he freaked out on this little shithead. Should have. Yeah, this part is the best.
Stupid little shit. You know what you've done?
Do you? Fucking beat his ass, Daryl. Beat his ass.
You're so goddamn smart. Worthless.
Worthless. Fucker. Anyhow.
Tell me why.
Tell me why, motherfucker. A little bit more emotion. You know, Joel was a bit reserved, like, oh, you bitch, you better. You're treading on mighty thin ice, Ellie. And then you got Daryl snapping. So a little difference there. That's cool, though.
Everyone I care about is gone. When we get to the nest,
A little bit of added dialogue.
she'll go too.
You'll go too. Everyone I care about has left me. Everyone I care about is gone. Everyone except for you. And when we get there, you'll be gone too. Don't fucking try to even convince me they didn't rip this off. Don't anyone in the fucking comments dare. Don't even dare. If you love the episode, fear not. There was a couple scenes I really liked, like that zombie scene. I'm gonna play it. Oh, then Daryl. Oh, hold on. Then we get to the I love it and I hate it simultaneously. You know how I always talk about how incredibly dumb it is that they sneak around in the woods? You ever go for a walk in the woods and sneak around and how loud it is? You take a little tiny step and it's like, and you have to be in the woods, nothing else around. Little tiny step and it's just every bear and predator's turning their head like, you stupid son of a bitch. Now we're going to rip out your throat. So Daryl gets the idea that for whatever reason, the bad guys find crayons in the middle of the street. Now, if I was a bad guy in that moment, I probably would think they were attacked. They dropped their stuff. The kid got scared because it's the kid's stuff and they ran. Now, here's the thing. You have to understand the bad guy has limited men, right? And let's say he even comes up with that idea. The kid dropped his crayons because he shat himself and got scared like the little bitch that he is. And he ran. Okay. Which direction? Did he run backwards? Well, you guys came from that direction. No. Okay. Did he run left? Did he run right? Did he run forward? Did he run fucking diagonal? Did he run this diagonal? Did he go up and, I don't know. Did he tie a bottle rocket up to his ass and shoot up to the sky? We don't know, but he could have gone in all these different directions, right? Multiple possibilities. And Daryl's worried they're going to instantly go, he went left. You know, come on, man. I know you could be good at tracking, but it's going to take them enough time to even look for tracks, to begin tracking. Daryl and the little shit could have got out of there. Daryl gets this genius idea that he's going to stay behind. And this is great because I'm always talking about how loud it is. It doesn't make sense we get, ninja walkers. And Daryl's thinking, I'm going to go for it. Why? As soon as he clubs this guy, the other men with guns are going to blow him away. But that's not what the writers care about because they know Daryl's going to get caught. So the character of Daryl is now an idiot because the writers don't care because the writers already know that he's going to get caught. Like, this is horrible writing. So Daryl's like, I'm going to sneak up right here. And they even add a little bit of footsteps too. His mace is swinging, making that chain sound. And boink, you stupid motherfucker, you get caught. Like, come on, man. A tooth that one, I love that an enemy actually hears. There's actually noise. That plays a part because that's realistic. It's grounded. But two, Daryl's not dumb enough to try this shit. This is incredibly stupid. Maybe he was thinking, I'll kill that one guy and get his gun, but oh man, he doesn't even get close. So it makes Daryl look like an idiot. And then the kid comes back. Oh, I give up. So now this whole time where Daryl and the kid are on the run for like a whole episode. What was it? Like last episode. So all of last episode don't mean dick because now the mean big bad girl has the kid. Remember a couple episodes ago, he was a threat and he needed to be extinguished. But now it's no big deal. She just needs him to say, I'm cool with her. You know, we're cool people. And it's all, that's not what you said 2 episodes ago. I mean, that's an about face. You just turned on everything you were saying in that last episode about him giving them hope. And you need to just like stomp that shit out. Makes no sense whatsoever. So Daryl's actually facing the threat. They're going to cut out his eye. Kind of wish they did. And then we get her. It's like they're copying the governor's story. Remember when the governor was in bed and Andrea, her fine ass is over there playing around with a knife and she doesn't go through it, killing him. She pretty much does the same thing. And I also mentioned last episode, the only thing that the main big bad guy wants is to tap that ass because there's nothing of value that she has. It's not like, and that's not saying she doesn't have value. The show didn't give her any value for the guy for anything other than I want to tap that. And that's what it ended up being. But how funny is it? They don't want to show anything graphic sexually, probably because it's like they don't want to trigger previous victims that are watching this, which is fucking bullshit when it comes to entertainment. You know, you shouldn't cater it. And the reason I say that is because the villain doesn't even seem like the villain. You get this bad guy. I don't know why that didn't beep. I might have to look into it, but you get this bad guy, right? And now he's not even acting too bad. I mean, he's understanding, oh, you need a little bit more time. And it's just weird, man. It's weird as shit. Yeah, that was a big delay.
AMC Plus website made me have to resubscribe, and it was completely broken. Then come to find out I can just watch AMC Plus directly from YouTube. Way better than the garbage app. I liked this EP though.
AMC Plus directly from YouTube. So you mean you got your AMC through YouTube? Or you mean like they just put their episodes on YouTube? I think you mean like you got the app. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. But I had that thing pop up with AMC. I think I told Chad about it before where it kept popping up as if I wasn't a member, but it wasn't showing me both memberships. Since I was already a monthly member, it was only showing me the yearly membership option, and it wouldn't let me go forward until I bought a yearly membership, which I didn't. I waited a day. I closed everything out, opened it back up, and it was funky. So I actually waited several hours, I believe it was, and then it finally started working right. But I wonder how common that little bug is, because I ran into, it sounds like something very similar. So I want to show this one little scene because this is something positive for me. And where is it? It's a flashback. Must have been in this. Yeah, maybe it was here. Yeah, this app is shit, bro. Oh yeah, they're climbing up here. Yeah, the app is trash, man. As soon as you skip it a few times and stop, the app just glitches out. It is terrible. I remember reading an article a couple years ago. I think it was just a year ago. Other companies were looking into AMC and seeing how it would be valued if they were to buy it. And their estimate was AMC only has The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead is plummeting as far as being a moneymaker. So it's not even worth it to buy AMC and integrate it into their company, at least at that point in time. Maybe because AMC even had a higher price than they wanted to pay, but that's bad when the majority of other companies wouldn't even give you an offer. I believe that's what the kicker was. They wouldn't even give them an offer. Yeah, see, now it's frozen. Unfucking believable. Are we back? Yeah, this right here. This was cool. Here's that hype. Yeah, this is that big time zombie. Everything's delayed, and when I click the button, it just don't even work. I'm trying to show you this. Maybe I can. Come on, man. I remember that one time I did it. I did something small. Is this it? No. I made it smaller somehow. And it actually ran really smooth when it was small. But anyway, this guy getting it. And I want to know in chat, like, what do you guys think about these stronger zombies? I think it's kind of stupid when they inject them in, like, think about it. We got, if you ever watch Batman, you know Bane, how he hits the serum and he just gets all roided out. That we have Bane walkers now. We got roided out walkers. Like, I just find that to be incredibly stupid. But it creates a cool byproduct, so I don't know if many people are going to care. Like, this was awesome. Come on. This part right here. Oh!
The
Rips him out.
Of killing herself made the whole finding a way out convo with Daryl concept completely pointless emo.
Yeah, and the nun going to kill herself. Thank you very much for the super chat. But all it is to trigger the whole, you know, with her backstory and show her scars and what she was, you know, who she was previously. And it tried to do that circular connection and character development, but considering what she has to live for and what she promised and everything going forward, that was an incredibly cheap and stupid thing to do. I mean, incredibly cheap and stupid. And I'm real curious about how come the bad guy isn't straight up a bad guy. Like, why didn't we see him sleazier? Now, that's not how I get my rocks off. Like, I would rather we don't even write a bad guy like that, just because it's not interesting. But how come he isn't sleazier? How come he isn't more forthful and blah, blah, blah? Because this bad guy was like, oh, man, okay, you need a little more time. It's like, really? That's the bad guy? You know, like, whoa. I was a little bummed out how Daryl just popped him in the face with the fire extinguisher, and he just got back up. Like, it was cool, but we've seen zombies do that. Not as fast, but yeah. Wait, Stormy said I'm not getting no sound from me? From me? I hope to God, well, that can't be right, because other people are talking about the same thing I'm talking about. So how would you not be able to get sound from me? And, everyone else can hear me though, right? Because that's weird if you can't. Yeah, I will also say, like, even though I'm more on the end of, I didn't like the episode. I thought the episode was the best episode so far, but I got to look at it as, just because there's a structure that is it's personally in my interest. I like how they did the flashback and they made connections with the and it all related. It made sense. It had a connection to it. They had good pacing. But to be honest, I'm never watching this again. I mean, I thought the zombie scene was cool. You guys can all hear me. Stormy, it's got to be something on your end that's messed up. But I'm not gonna watch it again. There's just nothing there, you know. The zombie scene was cool. Daryl snapping out was cool. Like, there's cool clips, but other than those cool clips, I just, for me, that just doesn't tie it into that's not enough. It's just not enough, you know. Yeah, Stormy, I don't know what that means. This is your comment. I can't hear you talking on my cell or TV question mark. I don't even know. I don't know how to make sense of that. I can't hear you I get that. But then you're saying talking on my cell or TV, that confuses me. But then the question mark makes it a bigger confusing because that's a sentence, not a question, but you added a question mark. And then you picked a cell or TV. Are you watching on one of them, both of them? Are you like, that's just such a confusing, you lost me. And then and then how do you hear me if I'm so lost? Because how do you hear me if you can't hear me? You see what I'm saying? Or do you mean like the sound? Yeah, it's got to be on your end, but I'm trying to troubleshoot with you. But I don't know how to make sense out of that. You know what I mean? You got it? All right. I'm curious what the issue was. You have a... Turn up the volume. That was it. What else was there? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was little things I could have discussed, but I think for me, that's pretty much it. Uh, it's weird how I do think this was the better of the episode so far. There's still not I don't know. There's still nothing there that has. It's someone mentioned filler, I think in the Discord, and I got to agree. It does feel like filler. It really does feel like filler. None of this matters. None of this is probably going to hold over and mean anything. And even if Daryl goes back home now, which he's not, we already know he's not. But even if he goes back home at the end of this season, what did that change? Like, what did that do? It was on your end, just strange connection issue, probably with my cell connected to my Wi-Fi. Oh, I got you. See, that I understand a little more. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going for other than to fill a time slot to get money to keep AMC afloat. I mean, it just lacks passion. What about the Carol part? Yeah, we barely heard Carol on the walkie-talkie. At first, I wasn't even sure it was her. I thought maybe they just got an actor to fake her voice. That's just me though. Maybe it didn't connect to me. I knew it was Carol, but it didn't sound like the actor, and it probably was. I'm just saying. It just, for me, it was off. But even still, there's nothing there. Oh, so what? He had a phone call with Carol. Oh, hey, I'm doing good. You don't have to worry about me. Same shit they said like 5 times already, which it was nice having the connection, not because it's like, oh, we heard from Carol for 3 minutes or 3 seconds. It's nice that.
What do you think Carol was talking about on the radio? And why did she sound so strange, like she was withholding something?
I'm going to get to that in a second, but it showed the structure of Daryl being out there in the world doing shit, and how we connected, found a radio, found a ways to stay in contact with Carol and them. For all we know, he could have had his own and it broke, and then he was trying to get in touch with her as he was traveling back to their community. But as far as it was filmed like it was supposed to be weird. So that's the first thing. Like, just her speaking didn't throw off any alarms. They filmed it in a way where it was like, oh, is there something going on? And then she said something about someone being back, and I think he repeated it like that's what he heard. But all the villains are dead. So, who's back? Is Negan back? When is this taking place? Is Rick back? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the part of what I don't like, because here's a bigger reason why. That's now canon in the episode, and I don't know if they knew this when they were filming, but Carol signed on for season 2, and she's filming season 2, which means it can't be anything big, because Carol will reveal what it is. If it's Rick, for example, Carol would reveal it when she meets him, unless they said, fuck it, let's do that. Carol reveals it, but then what is the reveal? Oh, Rick's back. What about? Yeah, I'm just playing with it, but that's why I think it's got to be something that doesn't matter because Carol is in the next season, you know? Anyway, that's pretty much my thoughts and opinions on it. Hey, Veronica.
I was one of those fans who'd say if they kill Daryl we riot. After this show I could care less what happens to him. This makes me sad.
I'm still holding out hope. I think in a large part because I like the actor for so long. I mean, you know, shit, since 1998 with Boondock Saints, 1999, I think, Boondock Saints blew up and I was like, it didn't even blow up. I mean, we found a VHS tape. No one talked about it. We had like one friend that was like, bro, I watched this from the video store and it's awesome. And he gave it to me. And then I watched it and I gave it to a friend. And like our whole friend group watched it and loved it. You know, it was like we snuck beers and get a little pot and we watched Boondock Saints, one of those types of deal back in the late 90s. But ever since then, I was like big Norman Reedus fan. And he wasn't in a ton of shit either. I think he was in like Blade for a little bit and one of the Blades maybe, and then something else similar to that. I want to throw you up, Veronica, for being such an awesome supporter on the channel. I want to pop you in here at the top tipper one. But I think part of me hangs on to Norman Reedus in that way. But I am hoping they do more and more substance with them, because I am a little bit, I am leaning or flowing a little bit into that not caring, like you mentioned, where a lot of us were big Norman fans. I was a huge fan of the actor, and then fans of The Walking Dead annoyed me with how Norman needs to be like center of everything. Like the fans that were saying, like Norman should be the lead. It should all be about Norman. He should have blah, blah, blah. You know, those fans that were like always pushing it. I think for a minute there, I was like, okay, you know what? Just kill him off already. But the truth is, like, I really like the actor and I want him to do some really epic shit with zombies. I mean, that would be awesome within the world of The Walking Dead. So I'm pushing that they do more with them, but I'm just losing hope that like, this is so fucking mid. I just can't grasp it, you know? It's just not for me. I'm glad for those who love the episode, don't get me wrong. And those who do, I am curious, genuinely. Those who genuinely are like, okay, this stands up to the best of The Walking Dead. Or when I say that, do you go, oh, hold on. I love this in comparison to what we've been getting, but don't talk crazy. This is nowhere near top tier of The Walking Dead. I am kind of curious because, you know, I see a handful of comments of people who love this episode. Is it top tier of all time? Is it up there with some of the all-time best Walking Dead episodes, in your opinion? Those saying that they love it and it's fire. I'm genuinely curious. Is that how you see it? Or is it like, no, this is fire compared to what we've been getting? I am curious. Because I don't give a shit about the nun. I don't care about the kid at all. Not even a little bit. I don't care about the bad guy. I don't care about this bitch, you know? She doesn't strike me as interesting. She's not scary. She's not intense. She's just there. She's just mid. She's blank. She's generic. She's just a baddie. And not in that way. Same thing for a lot of the characters they come across. That one guy dies and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy died. Who? You know, the guy who was praying earlier. Some generic shit like that. And then this baddie too. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. And they haven't even done enough to make him like uber bad guy, you know? Negan's done 10 times worse. 100 times worse than this guy. Negan has made this guy look like a choir boy. And he's supposed to be our one of our big bads, which I don't think he is now. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I don't know. I am going to read fan thoughts. Yeah, this chick, she's so, and is she the CRM? At this point, it's a no. All right, she's not the CRM, but they dress an awfully lot like them. That part throws me for a loop. And you know what? I got to do this comparison. What's World Beyond? What's that character's name? World Beyond. What was her name? The leader in World Beyond. I got it right here. So this is the leader of World Beyond. I forget her name. This is her here. Now, apparently this group is not connected with the CRM. This group is not connected with the CRM. I'm moving my face. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, you sexy sons of bitches. Hold on. I'm moving my ugly mug. This girl right here, the leader of the CRM at this station, this outpost, she is not at all related to this character. Not by blood, by marriage. They're not even in the same organization. And this is a TV show. Now, you could say in real life, well, two people could dress very similar in a post-apocalyptic world on coincidence. I agree, sure. But when you're making a TV show and you want to make unique looking characters and do something cool with it, you don't go, oh, here's the boss, the big bad of the CRM. And here's some asshole, looks just like she should be in the CRM or is in the CRM. And maybe later, maybe she is, and I missed it, Maybe she's a part of the CRM, like the France unit. Okay. All right, whatever. I guess they can make this the uniform for the female leaders of the CRM, because this is way too close for it not to be connected. It might as well be a recasting. That's how close it is. The young version, the old version, the young, the old, the young, the old. It's identical. And where's her little brooch thing? Anyhow, that's enough about that. But let me put something interesting on the screen. That's not interesting. Where's Daryl? We just saw his face. We could pick a zombie. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's freaking zombie here. Come on with your bullshit. Oh yeah, and then the final zombie. As soon as they brought him out, I said there's nothing to get excited about out loud. And the reason being is it's going to, because I know there's been at least an hour that went by in the episode. They've got to end the episode any second now. So in my head, I knew there's no way it's not cutting to commercial. And sure enough, it did. It cut right to commercial. This part was cool. I love this part. Boom! But we already saw it, It's like, we already seen it. So it's not as cool. It's cool, but Anyhow, let me get to some fan opinions. I rambled long enough. One last time, though, Veronica, for, again, a weekly support to the channel. You're fucking awesome. And then we had some super chats that came in. I want to give you a shout out. Let me move this screen, though. Jordan, Chandler, and Cody, thank you. Really big shout out. Funds are going to go into, at the end of the holiday this year, I'm going to purchase a new PC. I'm looking to get a rig that can I don't need 4K, but I'm looking to rip actual Blu-ray quality and edit videos based on that. I will need to eventually get a new camera just for when I'm doing my headshot. And I think I'm going to go with the, what are those cameras? Oh my God. I can't believe it doesn't matter. But those are ones where you don't run them a long time. You're only doing, 10-minute, 20-minute. Actually, I don't know how that will work because they run real hot. But maybe if you guys want to discuss it in a stream, if anyone is really interested in cameras, maybe I can get some tips on what's currently running hot and solid as far as quality. Let's celebrate their first super on live stream. That was Jordan. I appreciate that. Are we not gonna talk about the Carol radio call? I already did that. Let me move over here. Someone said something about the ick of the static. Sounded like ick, but radio staticky. Oh, all right. I'm gonna look back and see what it is. I mean, we can do it right now if you guys wanted to. Do you guys want to? Does anyone want to? We'll try to find that. I don't want to spend too long, but let me look. Was it? Hold on. Sometimes those plastic bottles are loud as shit, crunching and whatnot when you're drinking them. Does anyone know where it's at? That's the guy he was talking to about praying. Oh, here we go. The kid was okay. Yeah, he was gonna chop wood. This is where it's at.
Thanks.
All right, it's after that.
I can be patient.
Is it here? Yeah, here it is.
Come on, Bessie.
I gotta do this screen so I don't get caught. Copyright.
Yeah. Well, I have a radio here. I thought, what the hell? How you doing?
Where's there?
I'm in Maine, by the coast. Everything good there?
Yeah, you know, pretty quiet here.
Quiet's good. You okay?
Yeah, just takes some getting used to, that's all.
You sure you're okay?
You never have to worry about me, Daryl. How is it out there?
I'll tell you all about it when I see you. I'm just gathering up some fuel. I'll be there in about a week. I promise.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Daryl.
Yeah.
Hey, stand back.
Who came back? Carol. Who came back? Carol?
Hey, stand back.
Yeah, I think your comment was actually pretty on point where it did sound like it came back, but not Rick came back. To me, it doesn't sound like Rick came back, but it maybe. Again, I'm gonna stick with Carol's in season 2. So if Rick did come back and that's the thing, she would be the one telling him like, "Oh, hey." And if Rick did come back, why would Carol be all chilling? I'm doing good, you know. It's blah blah blah. Hell, oh, and by the way, hey, Rick came back. You know that no, that's not happening. You know, and that would be the first thing. Like, Daryl, you won't fucking believe this shit. You know. I feel also they took the idea of the female villain from the Last of Us TV show, the villain Sam and Henry were running from. I mean, yeah, they could have definitely, but they're alluding it to being Rick and Michonne coming back to Commonwealth. I don't buy that again because that'd be the first thing Carol would say, and that sounded a lot more like Carol hearing it now than when it was coming out of my TV. So, if they did get a Carol sound alike or whatever, then she's talking about Heath returning. I mean, that I would believe more than Rick and Michonne because she wouldn't immediately. Yeah, I don't think Heath would hype us fans up as a return, no. Only if it was connected to Rick. They bumble the Rick and Michonne show 2 week with writing. Vatos are back. Just you wait. Yeah, the Vatos back from their deleted scene death. Remember that show was originally going to be Daryl and Carol traveling town to town, kung fu style, saving communities. No joke. But I want to know something else to why would Daryl be on his way back from when he called Carol? Like, what did he go to back and find evidence of Rick? Did he just give up? I needed more. Well, I think what they're alluding to, though, is they hype it up as if Daryl's going looking for Rick. And it right now it feels like they abandoned that. And they're just like, oh, he's out exploring, and he's on his way back. He already explored that area and he's coming back to check in on his people. And then he'll venture back out. At this time, that's how, in my eyes, that's how I see it. All for the new kinds of walkers helps keep the show fresh and get new viewers. However, seeing the super walkers' veins mutating on the spot seemed, I don't know, cheesy, like too out there. I'm not big on the veins. All they could have done, all they had to do was this little thin veins that kind of you can see a little clearer, like maybe some, red or I don't know. The whole snaky travel-y thing. I'm not a fan of that. That's not even how our body fucking works. I don't know what they're doing, even for zombies. That's what, I don't know what it's traveling through. That shit's crazy. Let me go down here. We will see Rick's show before Daryl Dixon season 2, so the reveal could be Rick. But I don't believe it's Rick because again, Carol wouldn't la-di-da and then, oh hey, by the way, Rick is back. That'd be I'm convinced that'd be the first thing she would say. I think Rick and Michonne escaped CRM, made it to Commonwealth, but CRM tracked them down, and the wars between the two groups is coming. That's why Carol sounded like that. I don't know. I think that's just. I'll be real with you. I think that's just you as a fan wanting something super cool to happen. I'm just not buying that at all. Would it be cool? It's better than the alternative that nothing's going on. But we will know. Again, she's in season 2, so we will know. It's good, but it's not top tier. Haven't been since 2016. I don't think this is close to the show in its peak, but it's definitely some of the best in a while, in my opinion. All right, I feel you. Reddit is crazy. I saw people saying this episode is one of the best of the franchise. See, I think that's where I can't even comprehend that. Like, if you're a fan that genuinely believes that, I'm glad that you're living in your moment of your TV shows on fire that you're excited for right now. I can't process that one. I simply can't process that. The bad guy's kind of lame. I agree. And I guess it's not the bad guy anymore because we got 3 of them. One is just out for revenge, kind of waiting in the wings. And that's kind of boring. The main girl, we don't know what her motive is. We don't know anything about her. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit, And then the other bad guy's he just wants to fuck his old girlfriend. I mean, that's it. That's all he is. It feels like season 7 writing with better cinematography. I wouldn't call it love, but it brought it together. People in the what happened. The kid is annoying. Makes Sam look like a badass. It's fire compared to what we have been getting. It's no season 5 of The Walking Dead, but I still love my Daryl. I hear you. I enjoyed the episode, most of all the spin-off episodes so far, but there was a lot wrong, and I could care less about the France storyline because we all know it's meaningless in the grand scheme. I thought the tattoo-faced guy was going to be a real problem, and I actually forgot about him until the end of this episode. That's what I mean by he's just waiting in the background, doing what? For the next fight scene? Not a big fan of bad guys like that. And again, this has come from a fan that has complete season 1 through 12 on Blu-ray. Stands of Rick and Daryl and Michonne. Bro, the content brought to you. This is not up there. I hear you at that one. I don't think this is up there either. They dressed alike. She has a similar likeness. They damn sure did. The only thing I care about is Daryl getting back home and the CRM connections that are non-existent. They had to keep the baddies fashion budget. Oh, imagine if that was it. They were like, yeah, look through the wardrobe. We only got these black clothes. All right, she's going to dress just like that. That's all we have. They definitely have a connection, I believe. I would believe that over they just coincidentally dressed alike. I can't get over that. I mean, they have to be connected. But why doesn't she have the CRM symbol? Maybe she's not high enough rank. If they pull some shit like that, I'm fine. Even that little bit, she's not high enough rank. I'm good with that, I don't understand the time plot. Can someone help me with the time of these spin-offs? I can't help you. I'll be honest. Because I think, for example, like the Daryl one is kept loose. It's after the main series, but when? You know what I mean? Like they don't outright tell you. I'm sure someone watches the behind the scenes and they're the producer said it, so a fan in the comments could say, "Oh, it's here exactly." But I'm just going based off of what you should as far as what they give you, which is the show itself. That's what should give you the needed info. Anything that is said off is one, it's not canon. It's not canon until it's in the show, and two, unless there's things that connect to it, but it's not canon until it's in the show. And two, those are like the hardcore Easter egg stuff that is rewarding for listening to the behind the scenes interviews and cast interviews and yada yada yada. That's not like all fan bases should know that info, because we're not given that info with the main product that should have it, and that's the actual show. So what's next? Smart zombies? What a joke. Don't tempt them. I did like it only for a few select scenes. Other than that, I find the strong zombie thing opens a whole new can of worms to explain how will they control the zombies, amongst other things. One thing I think is really dumb. If you're struggling in the world of zombies, would you at all be comfortable, or would you even want to make stronger zombies? In what world does that make sense even a little bit? I can see if it was like, oh yeah, we have these nanobots that can control the zombies and they won't bite us because we have these nanobot bracelets and they don't attack thing. Then you're totally safe, and the zombies can be as strong. They could be Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man zombies, and it doesn't matter because they'll never bite you because you got the nanobot bracelet. But if this is a creature that can kill anything in its path, do you want to make it stronger? That's like, hey guys, we're going swimming, but I'm going to give some steroids to the sharks first, and then let's all go swimming. It's like, well, how do you know they're not going to eat you? Fuck it, bro, Boat driver getting killed by some ninja is pretty cheap. We knew him for all of 15 minutes. Yeah, that's... like, I just roll my head at that death. Just come on. He says one scene, talks about praying, and then he's dead. Well, no, Dr. Death, not if it's only 100 people, That's our only hope is, and I ain't mad if you love the episode. I'm just saying I desperately want a lot better than this, and I just don't want to reward them a little bit, because I'll be damned if this is all we're getting for the Walking Dead. That's not enough to ever continue the series. It's just filler. It's something on for today, and there's just nothing there of value that's going to hold over. The French group is not CRM, but they are bringing the supercharged walkers over to them. I think that's the connection. What gives you that thought? Like you sound like you're saying they're in battle with the CRM. I wonder if the oppressors she talks about are the CRM. That could be, but she also talked as if it was the old way of living, which is odd. I thought that was odd because it's been 10 years now since the world fell. So it's either the CRM or someone else, and that would be weird too, because then it would be, here's this group of shitheads who want to go to war with the other group of shitheads. Where do our characters fall in this war? I mean, what's their game plan? Either side, or just to sabotage both sides, Just finished the episode. Did anyone catch the Last of Us ripoff? Yep. Kid cutting the rope oh wait. Kid. Oh yeah. That scene happened when he cut the boat. And Ellie running off with the horse, not wanting Joel to leave her with Tommy. Yep, I already covered it. In the very beginning of the stream, I even showed the both scenes side by side, one after the other. It's definitely a Last of Us ripoff, no doubt about it. Just want to say season 6, episode 16 was the greatest TV moment I've ever seen. Very hard to top the emotion in that whole situation. Season 6, episode 16, I say you're nuts. You're talking about the cliffhanger? I have to disagree there. Or do you mean like just that finale moment? That was pretty strong, and that's why the cliffhanger sucks so much, because they built up that momentum so high and they just left you hanging, gave you blue balls. Y'all be stretching with the Last of Us comparisons. There's no way. There's no way. Well, unless you're talking about someone else said something in the chat, but there's no fucking way. That's copy and paste the same thing. Ellie saying that everyone left them except for Joel, and then this boy saying everyone left them except for Daryl, and he will leave them as soon as he gets to the boat. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. If that's not a ripoff, then plagiarism doesn't exist. I can see like someone said something before that. I don't know. Like, what was it? Like the girl being dressed the same. I don't know if I buy that, because that's just, the other girl had like a winter jacket. She had a ponytail. That was it. Her hair was slicked back. I don't buy that. I think they ripped their own show off, but if it's connected, then it's more of a uniform. So I'm waiting, The Genius Kid plot disappeared out of nowhere. Color me shocked. Is it worth my time and money subscribing and watching it? I would say no. What I did notice, though, is that the Chucky TV show is on HBO AMC Plus, and I skipped most of season 1 and all of season 2, so I think I'm gonna watch it just to see if it's any good. But I'm gonna watch Gen V first and see if that's any good. Did I like the episode? No. There was scenes in it that were awesome, like the fast zombie and Daryl yelling at the kid. There's something else. I forget what it is. And I appreciate the plot. I thought this was the best episode of the 5, but I can't say I like it. I was thinking about this because originally I was going to say, yes, I liked it, simply because it was better than what we've gotten so far. I thought it's the best episode. But when I think about it, I'm never rewatching this episode. There's just nothing there. There's nothing there at all. Some nun is talking to her ex-boyfriend, and then they go and get put in jail. Daryl is fishing, which I like that he was teaching them how to fish. I like that. And it called back a little bit, I thought, to Shane and the Frogs episode. Tell It to the Frogs. Shane teaching Carl how to hunt for frogs. It called back to that episode, I felt. Okay, so he's doing the food hunting. Then the guy in the boat dies, and then the kid cuts his boat. They get caught. I mean, there's just nothing of substance, in my opinion. There's nothing here. How do I compare this to Dead City? Which do you like more? You know what? I would have to say, oddly enough, I like the environment, the landscape, the filming more in this. And I think that's because Dead City promised the city, and they gave us landscape shots, but then threw everything else inside, which had very low and not interesting. The shit between Maggie and Negan, I'm sick of it already. I'm just sick of it. They're not doing anything, big and interesting. I will say, though, and many of you might disagree, but I don't think these are grand in scale apart from each other as far as quality-wise. Dead City and Daryl Dixon are pretty damn close in quality, in my opinion. They're both mid as fuck, And I know some are going to disagree because they got that, favoritism for one or the other, but I just find them to be mid as fuck. Her Gen V is great. I heard a lot of good things about Gen V. Yes, I think the quality of storytelling in the scenes, MMA Minds, I don't know how that's difficult to understand, is better than the previous 4, but no, I don't like it. You can objectively say, like, I think, this 5th episode was done better as far as the writing, the dialogue, what connected together. I didn't like it because there's nothing of substance. Nothing matters. I'm never going to watch it again. Unless I rewatch the one singular 10-second clip of a cool zombie kill, nothing matters. His conversation with the kid doesn't matter. The nun, do you really give a shit about the nun talking to her ex-boyfriend? Are you really going to rush out in like 6 months and rewatch that riveting scene where she thinks about slashing her wrists? Do you honestly give a shit? So, no, I thought this episode sucked, but it was better than the previous 4, Now, it didn't suck. It's just mid, you know? I don't want to say that because Fear has opened my eyes. When it sucks, like that sucks. Fear sucks, you know? And I don't want to just say because I didn't like it, this sucked, because Fear is trash. Carol said Rick came back when Daryl was on the phone. Do you think it was Rick or no? Any YouTuber, I'll tell you right now, any YouTuber saying, even if it's in the thumbnail or they're doing it for views, for money, there's no way you realistically think Carol's gonna, oh, hey, Daryl, yeah, how's the weather? Oh, you know, I got this growth on my ass, but things are going fine. You know, how about you? I let my hair grow out long again. I thought you cut it. No. Oh, by the way, Rick's back, you know? Get the fuck out of here. The only reason you would make a video is to get money, you know? That's it. And I probably would too. Like if I was covering The Walking Dead just to get money, like we did before when The Walking Dead was hot, I would do it too. I would be excited to do it because I know it would get 100,000, you know. The only difference I respectively feel like the only difference is in my video, I would simply say, people are saying this, it's not this. It's fucking not. Because Carol's not going to chatty Cathy and then all of a sudden go, oh, by the way, Rick's back. There's no way. Anyway, I have Phil Rickham show's going to be nothing but bloody gore. I at this point, I would take bloody gore. I have high hopes all aspects of Rick and Michonne's show except for the ending. I am almost certain they're going to piss that fandom off with the ending. I don't know. Are you sure? It would be which part of the fandom? You mean the entire fandom or what? Really think writing is better in this episode as far as episode to episode. I would have to say that's why I think this episode, the quality wise, is better than the previous 4, especially with how the writing comes back around. See, 1 and 2 have to deal with setup and setting up where Daryl getting here, and then 2 setting up Daryl and the crew moving forward. There's kind of like 2 different setups. And then you have a little bit of singular episode storytelling mixed with character work. And then now we got to a place where you can kind of go, here's a scene of the past of him getting here. And again, he got here simply because he punched a guy in the face. Very underwhelming. And then you tie it in with, kind of parallel it to what is going on in present day. I think that writing holds up better than just burning through it, you know? Oh. You think the ones who survive starts with Michonne and the huge group she found? No. I think they can take that in an interesting direction. No, I think that was made just for a cliffhanger. I don't think it was I don't think it's something they're going to follow up when. I never watched any review on how do you like the other ones? How do I like the other spin-offs? So when you said it sucked, but it's the best, it goes to show you really haven't enjoyed the show, probably. Have I enjoyed the show? I mean, you're talking about the show plus multiple spin-offs. I mean, that's a lot. I would have to say, yes, the spin-offs are they're ass. They're all ass. They're ass aids. The original show from seasons 1 to 6 were amazing. They've had rough patches all throughout. Sure, small rough patches in the beginning, bigger rough patches. I mean, they had a lot of obstacles making it. AMC fighting with them in season 2, sabotaging their own show, but they still, there's still so much charm there that it's great. 7 and 8 have stuff that would have worked really well, but the structure is so horrendous and the budget is so tapped out. 8 is a laughable disaster. 7 is almost unbearable because of the structure. And then from 9 and 10, they have some really strong push of quality and interesting ideas, but then they just fall back. You know, it's like they stumble on their own weight. I'm not sure what in the writing room happened there. 11 was just a middling mess, you know, of mediocrity. As far as the spin-offs, though, they're all trash. I'm saying that in general. They're all mid. I don't want to say they're all trash. The World Beyond is trash. Fear is trash. Tales of the Walking Dead is trash. If I'm forgetting it, it's probably trash. If that helps. That's right. Let's be real. The writing is so bad. The reveal probably is Rick, but I do agree it would be dumb. I'm gonna have to say, yeah, the writing is bad, but I can't. I don't even think they would do it that bad. That would be terrible. You know, I really hope they come through with good content with the Rick and Michonne show. Have everything make sense. I'm pulling for that show being the one to be good, if anything. Kind of tired of Negan and Maggie stuff too. I get Negan, which the volume and Maggie story. And here's the thing: is they could do something that would, instead of putting them together and pitting them against each other because of the same emotional trauma, they could move it forward. This whole like, my son was kidnapped and it's a former savior. All they're doing is now washing the dishes in old dishwater. You know, it's not like they're getting fresh dishwater and getting it clean. By the end of Dead City, seems Negan could go back to his roots as villain, maybe. I don't think they do that, but that's something that would be more interesting than what they're probably going to do, though. I really wonder if they could pull off Rick's ending in 6 episodes. I don't think they could pull it off in 6. The lady having to work besides the man who killed her husband seems generic and forced. Wait. The idea of a lady having to work beside the man who killed her husband seems generic and forced. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. When a Commonwealth keeps survivors, Daryl and an older guy who are collectors. Keep the survivors. What do you mean the Commonwealth? Because the Commonwealth got new leadership. When the Commonwealth keeps survivors. Yeah, the Commonwealth didn't. Yeah, am I losing my mind? The Commonwealth got new leadership. So it's not how it was before. So Daryl left on his own. I don't know how you meant that. The whole A and B thing. Oh, do you mean the CRM? The ship was straight feeding whole containers to walkers. Yeah, and that's another thing. We don't know if they're CRM. So, you know, the CRM might not, this might not be that part of the CRM. So none of that, all that's just speculation. And I agree. Why would they, yeah, I think you meant CRM, not Commonwealth. That's what confused me. But yeah, you did CRM. So in that case, it could be a different subset of that group, you know? So, MMA Mind says, I mean, the Daryl show in particular, as far as all of Daryl is mid. That's my review pretty much consistently, I think. Some of it I liked more. Like I was more interested when we started the journey. So even though it was mid, I was a little bit more excited, but I don't know what I rated it, but right now I'm rating it mid. No, I'm not really enjoying the Daryl show so far. We got one more episode left, and I feel like I wasted my time. Season 8 was overheated for some people. Overrated, you mean? No, I haven't enjoyed it. The writers and producers, I know we only care about Rick's story, but they're stringing us with Daryl. I hope Rick shows us more in one season allowed to explain it. Yeah. From the time I rewatch The Walking Dead, it usually dies at season, what does that say? Season 7, usually around the Tara episode. Oh my God, who thought that was a good idea? Honestly, who thought that was a good idea? Here's Tara, a character that had a genuine start in the series. Now, originally, Tara, a little bit corny with the whole like daps, and she's all like, you know, kind of silly and goofy, but she had a start. And they had a chance with the governor's attack to like just scare her straight and still keep that little bit of silliness. But she's been like reawakened to this world of just brutality, you know? And then they threw her off into the background. And here she goes in the background. She's been such a consistent part of the background that suddenly they think we all give a shit about her, you know? And we only care about her because, you know, she's been around for so long, and, you know, maybe we saw the actor in interviews and in, you know, conventions, the community, the fan base as a whole. So it's more of, she's been here so long. We have this attachment to her being here this long. We don't really give a shit about the character if we boil it down to its core. And then they go, let's put her in a solo episode. And here's what makes it worse when they do that shit. You're excited for the next episode. Oh my God, I want to see what happens with Rick and Negan, they're like, ba, 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 ba. And then next episode, you sit down with your friends, you got the popcorn, you got some snow caps, you got some juice or fucking beer and pizza, chicken wings, buffalo chicken wing pizza, whatever you got. You sit down, you're excited, you're in a great mood, and then boom, it's Tara doing a run. And then it's Tara 20 minutes later. And then half hour, it's Tara. And that sinking feeling, and you're like, oh my God, it's all about Tara this episode. And that goes for most bottle episodes, or the split storytelling, I think I called it. Blended is when they blend it back and forth with all the characters, but split storytelling is where they split it up and they say, we're telling this character one week and this character the next week. That is awful. That is awful. Awful way to do it, Veronica Dawson says, I was thinking, who was the last new character introduced in the Walking Dead universe that I cared about? It's John Dory. So long ago. Who was the last character you liked immediately? Oh, that's a really good question. Who was the last character I liked immediately? Oh man. I wish I had like a little picture list of characters. Who was the last character I liked almost immediately? Let me go back. I mean, we saw Negan after Jesus. Negan, he's a given. I liked him almost immediately. But what about after that? I liked Connie almost immediately. There was something about the actor has some real charisma, but I don't know. Because it didn't do a lot more than Daryl's buddy. It kind of floundered a little. They didn't, man, who was the last? For right now, I'm gonna think about it, but for right now, I'm gonna pick Connie. Now that's just in the main show. John Dory I like though, but I like that actor a lot. Like I like him a lot in almost everything he's in. So I'm almost positive I like John Dory immediately, but he probably came before Connie. Man, who did I like that was? Yeah, I'm going to go with Connie. Yep. Honestly, I think they can tell the whole story in 5 episodes. Not watching the show anymore. Oh wait, someone said you had the ring theory in your ring theory for the season 7 premiere, and I used your tweet in one of my videos. I used your tweet in one of my videos. Oh, that's what's up. MMA Minds. That's what's up. The good old days. Not watching the show anymore. It's not worth all the watered down characters and filler. Maybe it's Morgan's back. Morgan's back? Maybe. I honestly think they can. Morgan would be someone they would wait and say, like, oh, hey, by the way, but I don't know. I honestly think they can tell the whole story in 5 episodes of Rick and Michonne. You have to start off with nonstop good content, and the last episode is a return to his family. Tara should have taken Beth's death. Ezekiel is king, Team Carol, because I didn't see a purpose of keep giving us season after season of the ones who live, because I feel like we can get much of I think my brain just shut down. Because I don't see the purpose of keep giving us. Yeah, sometimes if it's not like, if there's like a typo here and there, I'm trying to read through so many comments so fast. If there's typos or punctuations missing, it just jams me up. So that's why you see me just blah, blah, blah. Because think about it. Like if you're trying to read fast, listen to how it was written. And there's probably a typo here, which is why it's like that. But not to pick on you, QBQ FTL. Because I don't see the purpose of keep giving us season after season of the ones who live, because I feel like we can get too much, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, like this need to be a great straight to the point. There's probably some damn. Probably some punctuation even would helped out slightly, but we're 2023. That's illegal anymore. I think I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. I don't think we need multiple seasons of the Rick and Michonne show, but I think we need more than one. I'm going like 2 or 3, close it out, done. 2 at the absolute least. And then, 3 at the most, depending on what story they're telling. I think you could do 4 amazing seasons and tell one hell of a, but they're not doing that. Not in the way I envision it, because they're putting Michonne in way too early. Michonne's going in now. She's, in there. And Rick has been gone for years and years and years and years. And we're just skipping all that time. Maybe there's nothing that needs to be said in all that time, but I don't know. Yeah, you were at that point. You were more interested in what happened to Heath. I feel you. I think most of us were. I like Patrick from the prison. Oh, okay. That was a long time. That's a long time ago, though. What makes that worse is the slit story telling is that even though it didn't work for season 7 and 8, they decided to do that for Fear in 5 and 6 and 7 and thought it would work for that time. And you know what's crazy? It's not that they sit down and go, okay, this didn't work. Let's do it again. They sat down and said, our budget won't let us do what we need to do. What do we have to do? And the split storytelling is what they have to do. And the reason for that, just real quick, is if not all the actors are present, you don't have to pay them all for filming that week, I think it's, what is it, per episode you get paid. So if you take out these actors, then you don't have to pay them, so it's cheaper and blah, blah, blah. I have not seen Saw X. I just realized that's a $2, so it's not going to pop up. But I have not seen Saw X, and I will not watch Exorcist. I will watch Saw X, but I'll tell you why. I'm going to be petty with Exorcist. The reason being is there's a clip that's floating around where the mother from the original Exorcist was like, they shut me out. I didn't even see the exorcism. They shut me out. And the guy sitting down giving her coffee was like, oh yeah, why? And she goes, you want my opinion? Because I wasn't a part of the patriarch club or some shit like that. She wasn't a part of the whatever club. It's like down with the patriarch. And I'm gonna be petty. That line alone is multi levels of retarded. You had 2 male priests that died saving your daughter, and you think that they locked you out because they were somehow like, sexist, or misogynistic and sexist, and what the, even if you're saying, well, that's not what she's saying. I don't give a shit. She's saying this, and that is ridiculous. So if that little bit of writing is in there, what other stupid shit did they have in that movie? Which is a shame, because The Exorcist it's a classic. I'm not even big on possession movies, and I'd see it just because it's a classic, but I'm not watching it now. Even when it comes out, in Blu-ray, it can sit and rot for all I care. I'm just so sick of Hollywood not focusing on telling good stories. Everything has to be an agenda with them nowadays, and it's just getting grating. We just want good stories. I just want a hella good story. That's it. I don't like the Tara Heath episode, but oddly enough, I like 3/4 of the Rick and Michonne episode when they found the guns at the fair. It's a real day in the life of scavenging for stuff. Yeah, see, it makes sense though when it's the main, because the main is the main. It doesn't make sense when it's one of the side or background characters. Now, if you repeatedly had Daryl episodes and you're like, okay, this is the 3rd week in a row. Where's Rick? Where's Michonne? Where's Carol? That's a difference. It's the main, so it's fine, that you wait a week. But it doesn't work when it's the side characters. When the main characters have the story fluctuating around them, that's why you come back and the writers go, wait, you got to wait till next week because we're going to look over here. You're interested in this, but we're going to look over here at that. And it's like, Anyway, The Morgan one was good though. Yes, and I do agree. The Morgan one, I've always said this. Here's Not Here is an amazing episode. It's fantastically written. It's great. Its placement isn't the best when you're watching week to week. Its placement sucked, to be honest with you. But the episode is great. And that's one of them that, again, because of his disappearance and because he's a legacy character from the premiere episode, it works. And if it was placed differently, I think at the time the fan base would have reacted differently. They love it now, but I remember at the time it was like, come on, you ripped this out of the story for this. How about a movie? What movie? I don't know what you mean. How about a movie? I don't know what that means. Are you talking to someone else? Beta was a character I liked instantly and big. I was going to mention Beta, but I like Ryan Hurst, so it's like an immediate to him. Anyone else want to comment directly to me at Make a Path Presents so I can see it? I'm actually going to try to burn through some of these comments and close it down because I got to get up really early for work at 6, so I want to try to get some sleep. But in the next, yeah, and again, that doesn't mean all split storytelling is automatically bad. That doesn't mean that at all. But it does mean that a vast majority of them are bad to some degree, because especially week to week, because you're pulling why characters are interested and you're making them look at something that they weren't interested in. Of course, they're gonna start automatically from a negative place. Budget for Fear Season 7 was handled the worst because they thought they could pull off a Fallout wasteland landscape with the budget they had. Yeah. Some of it looked good, but I seen some of it. I skipped watching in that one. I was done, but some of it was like, wow. In The Exorcist, the mother did everything she could do for her daughter. Wasn't that enough? Well, I don't know the context of what you mean. Yeah, I don't know what the context. Do you mean like, I don't know the context there, but do you mean like, that's still, even though she wasn't there for the exorcism, she did everything she could do? In that context, I do agree with you. I don't even know why they have a scene where she simply could have been like, I think the scene is they go to her for help and she's like, I wasn't even there, but they didn't have to go, I wasn't even there, and the damn priests, the ones that gave their lives, all they had to do, like, you do know I wasn't there, follow up with something that even had like a tinge of dread in there instead of some, cheap, snappy kind of blah, priests bad, patriarchy bad, where they could have added something that had like a punch of tension. You ain't wrong. It's like that person who don't make shit comic accurate on purpose, just piss people off. Oh wait, I think you ain't wrong. There was a lot of retarded stuff in Exorcist. Thank God. Saw had a good story and amazing practical gore. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Saw, definitely. Yeah, like comic book movies, it's like they purposefully don't make comic accurate on purpose, just piss people off. Yeah, I think a large part of what happens with comic movies, if you watch a lot of the behind the scenes, in all honesty, is they'll tap someone to make it. And a lot of people working in Hollywood is working to buff their resume, to make connections, to make networking. Like, that's not the end all be all, but a lot of that happens. And what ends up happening is you'll get people that they don't give a shit about a lot of these characters and they're tapped to work on it. But it's a project that, like, for example, if someone burst in my door right now and they were like, bro, you've been randomly selected for some random asshole to make the next, Harry Potter movie. Listen, I'll be honest right now. I don't know a thing about Harry Potter. I've never seen the movies. I've never played a video game. I've never read the books. I've never done anything else that was Harry Potter related. But I tell you what, would I do it? Fuck yeah, because it probably comes with a lot of money and connections and networking and blah, 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 blah. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do that shit, So, but I think the big difference is if I know I'm going into something for the job, I think the first thing I would look at is, all right, I'm researching, the fan base, why they love it, what they love about it. And I want to stay true to that. because I appreciate and respect the fandoms, you know. But a lot of these people don't give a fuck. They just care about, oh, I was tapped to make Ghostbusters. All right, well, you know, I'm gonna pick you, and you, and you know, they have this thing with the car. I don't give a shit. We're gonna do this, and they have the thing with this gadget, and that's stupid. We're gonna do this, you know. And some of them will maintain this level of authenticity only because they know they need it in order for it to work. So I think that's in a large part why you get a lot of comic movies that don't have shit accurate. After rewatching the scene, did Glenn and Abraham's group commit cannibalism when they entered Terminus? They were offered food when they first entered. I'm not sure because they were captured. So we're not, no, it doesn't, we don't know, but they could have definitely eaten some meat, but we don't know. If I remember right, we don't know how quickly they were captured, but they could have eaten it. Morgan being one who returns makes sense, and I could totally see that being the reveal in the Fear finale as a short scene to include Morgan or Lady Jo don't come back. Aaron was side for a long time. Yeah, Aaron was a sidey for a longie. I prefer a show about powering up walkers rather than a show about zombie farts lighting buildings. Yeah, either or, a little bit crazy. In Fear 7-3, you could literally tell it was a soundstage. It was so bad. Ouch. That's the worst too, when you're like, oh yeah, that's a soundstage. Like older movies, it's not as bad. Like Batman Returns is such a weird movie. Maybe even Batman, the original 89, like they have a look to them. And you know what that look is? Sound stages. They are sound stages. You know, they're big, vast, you know, that they make. I'm sure some of it was filmed on location. Yeah, all right. But there's a lot of it that was filmed, probably majority of it, that was filmed in a sound stage. So that's why you have these like, it kind of looks like real life play sets, you know? And they get more ridiculous with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. They get over the top. They look like actual play sets that are blown up. But that gives Batman Returns this really unique look where it's a grounded movie with fantastical shit done on a sound stage, but grounded in a way that gives it a very unique look. And I've fallen in love with that look over the years for those movies in a nostalgic way. But it doesn't always work. You know, there's a way to do it with a soundstage. If you could take those movies and you can kind of view it like the Universal monsters in a way, like, you know, that's a soundstage of the graveyard, but how it looks is like moving artwork. It's beautiful. You know, if they could have captured that essence, they could have made it work. But I don't think that. I think they were like, oh, let's try to make it look real. You know, I don't know. How long do you think until they put a ribbon on the Walking Dead franchise? What is the end game for the A-list characters? I say by the end of 2026, this all ends. To be done with. Well, first off, Nav, The Walking Dead's not going to end unless there's some sort of bought and sold thing going on. The Walking Dead is a moneymaker. It's always going to be a moneymaker from here until the end of time, unless something else happens down the road that we don't foresee. But they're not just shutting it off. I mean, it's making AMC money. Now, you're talking from the perspective, it seems, of the cast. The cast, let's look back in history. Even though actors are like, oh, I'm done, they step away. They're not always flush with cash. They're not always flush with favoritism in the fan bases. They're not always flush with favoritism within Hollywood. They're not always on the top. So yes, when they're on the top and they want to experiment and do other projects, they will go off. But look at like some of the older cast who are now coming back doing conventions, which, you know, that's awesome. But let's be honest, like, they're coming back and re-embracing the horror genre of the fans that grew up on watching the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it's awesome, but let's face it, you know, if they were like, oh, we're doing a new Nightmare on Elm Street and we want you to be one of the cameo, they'll do it. Why wouldn't they? That's the same thing with The Walking Dead. Sure, when they're on top of their game and they have other options, they're going to close out and probably close out soon, probably within the next few years. I think Norman Reedus genuinely loves it. So he just feels like he's in it until he can't do it anymore. But the rest of them, they're probably going to bounce, and then probably some of them will return in several years for, a new attempt at a new chance, I should say, at revitalizing, those characters in that world. Yes, I do think some of these people are going to phase out soon, like real soon, but the franchise will try to continue again, unless there's some bought and sold type thing going on. But other than that, The Walking Dead is not going anywhere. If they can keep it running with AMC, because I don't know, there's something there where it's like I have a feeling they'll be bought out or something, or combined with another company. Yes, that's what I meant, Ronnie, about the Exorcist comment. Okay, yeah, and I agree. That should be enough. The mother's not an expert in spirituality and exorcisms and possessions. I'm not either. If my kid kicked in the door and was all possessed and shitting herself and puking in my face, I'd call an expert too. What am I gonna do? I don't fucking know anything about demons. What am I gonna do? So it should have been enough to be like, the parent, blah 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 blah. They don't need these snippy comments, because I don't know. It's just so fucking weird that people do this in Hollywood a lot more now than normal. By the way, the movie I had an idea of what AMC could do is the Walking Dead movie. Oh, I see what you're saying. From before, the old comment, as a final nail in the coffin. They could do a final movie to close it out. I don't know if it would help them any, but they definitely could do it. One of the greatest episodes of television ever. How dare this cheesy show even use one word of it in its title. Like Maggie, Lauren Cohan came running back when her other show failed. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And again, I don't blame her strategically. That's a smart move to do. I would have done that too. I would have told, if I was managing someone, I would have told them to do it too. If I had a relative or a friend in that position, I would have told them to do it too. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, for right or wrong of what happened for her leaving, because we don't know. Maybe she wanted more than was, maybe what she wanted was ridiculous. Maybe she actually wanted what she was worth in AMC. They're just scumbags. We already know what their background. They don't want to pay fair wages, and we know that because they held money and they lost the lawsuit with Frank Darabont. They ripped him off for hundreds of millions of dollars. They ripped him off willingly, knowingly, on purpose. They ripped him off hundreds of millions of dollars. Imagine someone brings to you, your company, something that can turn your company into a network that used to show, old classic movies, and no one even fucking knew who you were. Okay, you had Breaking Bad and some other shit, but there was like 1 million people watching Breaking Bad in its best season. So fuck out of here. I love Breaking Bad, but AMC didn't have the pool. It was Sony, pumping that shit. Sony was the reason that Breaking Bad even got the notoriety that it did. But long story short, imagine someone brings to you something that turns your company into a name that people know from watching old movies and explodes it into a money-making machine. And your next plan of action is to have the entire Hollywood industry think that he is a narcissistic asshole piece of shit, mean, snappy director, which doesn't align with anything that people who work with him repeatedly say. Like, these people go back to work with him because he's so fantastic. Sure, did he snap out? Yes, a number of times. It's proven in the emails. But AMC's first plan of action after being handed a multi-billion-dollar property, their first response was collectively to frame this director who brought it to him to look like a psycho, mean piece of shit, to then get him fired, to also screw him out of his contract, to rob him of hundreds of millions of dollars. That was the first fucking thing they did the second they got a little bit of success. So do I believe that they stiffed Lauren Cohan on her pay that she should have probably got? Absolutely. I'm just saying, for the sake of being devil's advocate, maybe she asked for like something that was stupid high, but it's probably AMC's fault. Anyway, so she tried to go do it on her own, and we all knew it would fail. I mean, most of us paying attention knew it would fail. Listen, Lauren Cohan, I'll watch her in a lot of shit, But this Whiskey Cavalier was a trash idea. We don't want no goofy, like, coming back every week watching her solve crimes or whatever stupid shit they were doing. No, fuck no. You want something you want something gritty, grounded, a little bit of sexy. I mean, you want her back in The Walking Dead. That's a perfect place for her. Anyway. Did Daryl get fight training under Mercer when he was at Commonwealth? He should have. Prayers for AP. He sounds constipated out the wazoo. AP, why does he sound bad? Is he all like, eh? He did that video. What was that video? Hold on. What was that video? I'm going to look it up. I probably won't be able to find it, but. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. Maybe if someone linked it in Discord, like in 2 seconds, I'll be able to pull it up. Actually, I don't even remember what the video was. But yeah, that's not going to work. AP. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll pull it up some other time. AMC is grimy. I hate when they did it. I hate they did that to Frank Darabont. Yeah, think about it now. I mean, if he's actually getting paid, man, he probably. I don't know how that works as far as like when they'll pay him. He probably still hasn't even seen a dime. But if he did or is getting that money, man, he's got enough to start his own, production company. He probably already has one. I don't know, but. Hot damn, he could probably do something if he wanted to re-enter the zombie apocalypse kind of zombie genre, I should say. He could probably do something fucking amazing, and the fan base would check it out. A large part of The Walking Dead, even the ones that left, would check that shit out. Like, yo, what is going on? What's he up to? Lance Hornsby got plugged in the neck with Carol's arrow, and Lance became Heisenberg. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm about to shut her down. I gotta say massive thank you. We'll be back here for the finale, and I am gonna shit on it probably. Maybe not too bad because it is the finale. So they're starting with a huge fight of the zombie. I'm gonna predict one thing. I'm gonna look it up right now. The Daryl Dixon finale trailer. I'm gonna predict they start the episode off and Daryl defeats the creature, the Bane zombie, within 30 seconds. I think 30 to 45 seconds. Done. Daryl Dick down finale trailer. Daryl got dick down trailer. There we go. No, let's do. Where's the filter? Let's do today. What was uploaded today? Is this it?
Dixon! Today you die!
Today you die! So they do it from a different angle. Now she's screaming. She was just standing next to him. Next to the main bad guy. And she's screaming while getting locked up. It sounded like she yelled for Dixon, but this is the nun. They're not locking the aunt and the nephew up. And that's probably after Daryl wins, and then she gets mad and locks them up. I don't know why she just doesn't have them killed.
Subbox, I think.
Daryl's walking around with that axe, so he, killed the zombie and got out with his axe. And he's in cuffs. They're breaking his cuffs. So, okay, so he, defeats the variant within 30 seconds. He gets out. He's still in cuffs. They break him.
You have to do horrible things.
And then they already showed Daryl reunited with the aunt and the boy. I was surprised when they showed that. Why would you show that in the trailer? I know, they're going to reunite, but really? And it's all in flames behind them.
How bad you feel. God will forgive you.
Daryl is fighting that tattooed guy. Is that it? Some zombie. Oh, they even show the variant walker getting an axe through the chest. So that's probably the first thing we see. Daryl throws the axe, and it looks like the actor is standing in front of or on the side of the axe, and he fakes pulling the axe through his body. That looks terrible. Yeah, that looks awful. Anyhow, so hopefully that's a good scene. We have Laurent. Laurent is attacking. Daryl's behind bars. Laurent is attacking somebody. Oh, this makes sense. Laurent is attacking somebody or something. It looks like a walker, has a walker sound. That's why Laurent says sometimes you got to do bad things. Because he does this bad thing. It looks like a walker, though. Sounds like one, too. I don't know. This does not look that exciting. You want your revenge? Go get it. This is probably the beginning of the episode. And then Daryl's got his hand up. Is this an old scene? Because that's the same scene Daryl was in. Oh, I think maybe they're going to do a parallel from the first episode where Daryl was on the ground, and they copied the last of a scene where Joel's on the ground and he holds up his hand and he's about to get shot by the army guy. And then the army guy is shot from the back. But in the first episode, it was that one girl that disappeared. Remember that pretty brunette? She disappeared totally. The girl who betrayed him. And then they took her. She's just totally gone. Like, what the fuck? Where did she go? I want more. I want to know more about her. Let's be real. So, yeah, Daryl's all like, no, don't do it, man. And the bad guy got to wait until someone shoots him in the fucking back of the head. Who out there? Let me ask you in all seriousness. Which one of you motherfuckers out there, right? Be honest. Who out there is looking at this scene? Am I covering it? Which one of you slow-mo, brain-dead sons of bitches, who's looking at this scene and going, whoa, I can't wait to see what happens in the finale? Which one of you dent sons of bitches is excited for this scene right here? It's the only time I'm going to be mean, because we both fucking know nothing's going to happen. Nothing. Daryl has that plot armor so thick, you can't even get within 10 feet of him because, you'll bump into his plot armor. It's that thick. He looks like, the people that put on 100 sweatshirts just to see if they could put on 100 sweatshirts. That's Daryl at this point in time. He looks like a snowball. He's got that much plot armor. This is not doing shit to Daryl. Why would they even put this in the trailer? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's nothing. Anyway, this is fucking stupid. So that's the finale. I'm hoping it's good though, but am I gonna finish Resident Evil 4 DLC this week? Yes. I'm hoping it's only one more, but it might be 2 more streams, maybe 2 1-hour streams, and I do want to get it finished this week. The reason being especially is because I got sick as hell last week, and I should have taken a day or 2 off of work, but I didn't, and I paid the price, man. I came home from work and I was passing out, When I played the DLC this week, I shut it down one day and I shut the stream down, and I woke up like slumped over in my chair. Like my body just shut down. I was sick as hell. So this week I want to get it done. I had a plan. I'm already a week behind from being sick, so I want to get back on my plan and, start doing some of that. But I do want to finish so that way that's at least up totally. Because my next plan is to kind of get a game plan situated for what uploads are going to be starting to roll out on the different channels, the Make Path Presents, the Flaw and the Ronnie Hayes, and starting to put those schedules into place as far as, getting shit done. So, but I want the DLC to be finito so I can start doing that. So yes, I'm going to be doing some gaming streams this week. How would you, on the Ronnie channel, Ronnie Hayes, how would you have ended the comic book? What future storyline would you have played out? Well, that's not really a question I can answer, right here on the fly real quick as I'm ending a stream. But I would have to say, bring it up some other time where we're actually going through, something where I could take a moment, instead of just lopping out, some weak answer just to get it answered. That is not even something I would do, because I would want time to actually develop and come up with something that would be off the hook. But I will give you one nugget. I would focus on the legacy characters, obviously not to the degree that they were gonna do, where it's like, oh, look, here's RJ grown up, here's Judith all grown up. No, not at all. But I would definitely focus on the life that they built and possible future story, with the main characters and the young ones. But that's just in the vibe, the feel. That's not in specifically what they would do. They still been to add the zombies in space. They could have tied the Russian cosmonaut. I don't even know how that would work, though. They shouldn't spoil what comes next anymore. No, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Add zombies in space. A plot hole is still in zombies in space. What's with the zombies in space stuff? Cut to black. Here's Negan. It says, do you think they'll drag out the kid being Messiah immune, or do you think it'll be addressed by the end? I was hoping they would address it by the end of the season. I'll be honest. There's no way I want them to drag that out. Lord have mercy. Have mercy on us all. Yeah, Daryl is safe. The tattoo guy looks like Nico Bellic. I don't know who that is. I might if I seen his face, but all right, I gotta go so I can pass out. Thank you very much for all the support, and I'll see you guys this week for some gaming streams. And then it's exciting because I know we got the holidays coming up, but I do have some plans for hopefully to start getting something a little slow but consistent start to roll out. And then that way I can start announcing, hey, we're doing this week and this next week. And I've been hoping we can start experimenting with some stuff to have fun, since the Flaw vs. All is the heavily edited, only stuff that goes up on that channel is the Flaw vs. All structure and blah, blah, blah. I was hoping we can have a little fun and experiment with some different stuff on the Make Path Presents. And obviously we got the gaming on Ronnie Hayes, and there's some collectible reviews and stuff like that I post up there every now and again, but that'll be coming up. Thank you guys very much, and be safe, and I'll see you Sunday for sure, 10 o'clock for Daryl Dixon season 1 finale called What Else Can We Rip Off from The Last of Us. Have a good night.